I thought retirement meant peace. A garden, a porch swing, and the kind of quiet evenings you dream about after working your whole life. But peace? That was the last thing I got when I moved into my forever home. Because the neighbor who lived next door decided that I was an easy target. And they had no idea that at 60 years old I still had enough fire in me to fight back. And win. My name is Margaret Lewis and I'm 60 years old. I spent 35 years teaching high school history in Portland, Oregon. When my husband passed away 5 years ago, I promised myself one thing. I would keep living. So after saving up, I sold our old place and bought a little 2-story home in a quiet Portland suburb. It wasn't fancy, but it was mine. It had a rose garden in the front, a backyard perfect for summer barbecues with my grandkids, and neighbors that, at first glance, seemed friendly. But sometimes, appearances can fool you. On my very first week, I baked a batch of cookies and carried them next door as a neighborly gesture. The woman who answered, Patricia Collins, didn't even open the door all the way. She looked me up and down and said, "We don't eat sugar." Then she shut the door in my face. That was my welcome. And that was just the beginning. At first, I thought Patricia was just rude. But little did I know, she was about to make my life a living nightmare. The complaints started small. One morning, I found an anonymous note taped to my door. "Your lawn is 1 inch too high. Please comply with HOA standards." The HOA, 3 letters that haunt every American homeowner. I double-checked the rules and sure enough, my grass was perfectly fine. But a week later, I got another letter. Then another. It didn't take long to figure out Patricia was behind it. She was the vice president of our local HOA board, and she used that position like a weapon. She complained about my grandkids playing basketball in the driveway. But what started as petty harassment soon crossed a line I couldn't ignore. It wasn't just letters anymore. One morning, I walked outside to find my mailbox smashed in. A week later, my trash can accidentally disappeared. Then came the rumors. A neighbor whispered to me at the grocery store that Patricia was telling people I was senile and couldn't take care of myself. She even suggested behind my back that maybe I shouldn't be living alone. That one hurt. I had worked my entire life, raised 2 children, buried my husband, and built a new chapter for myself. And this woman thought she could erase all of that with lies. But I didn't explode. I didn't scream at her across the fence. Because here's the thing Patricia didn't know about me. I had been teaching teenagers for 3 decades. And if there's one thing you learn as a teacher, it's patience. So I decided to fight back slowly, quietly, and smart. They thought I was too old to fight back. What they didn't know was that I had been preparing my revenge all along. I bought a cheap security camera and pointed it at my driveway. I also made a few calls of my own city code enforcement, county tax office, even the housing authority. And that's when I discovered Patricia's dirty little secret. Her basement wasn't just a basement. It was a full-blown illegal Airbnb rental, bringing in cash under the HOA's nose, quietly, gently. And what I found out was shocking. Patricia had bullied almost everyone on the street. One family had to repaint their house twice because she kept citing them for wrong shades of beige. Another neighbor sold their home after she spread rumors about their teenage son. Patricia sat there, smug as ever, ready to hand out new fines. I waited until the end of the meeting before I raised my hand. My voice was calm, steady. "I'd like to share some evidence," I said. One by one, I laid it all out. The letters, the video footage. The HOA board voted to remove her as vice president that night. The city slapped her with fines. And the IR? Well, let's just say they were very interested in her unreported income. Within weeks, I had taken down a bully without ever raising my voice. Because the truth was, I wasn't lonely. I had friends. I had family. I had a community that finally stood together. And Patricia, she was the one who ended up alone. On the street, they're the ones living right next door. N. So to anyone out there who thinks 60 is too old to fight back, think again.